19 years ago today, little story for you. 19 years ago today, I remember this because it was my 21st birthday. I got word that I would be interning in New York City at MSNBC for the Imus in the Morning show.
Very exciting.
It was cool. This is my summer intern badge that I had. I found this stuff. This is my MSNBC license plate cover that I got, a free gift for being there. This was my welcome to the MSNBC internship program card that they sent me. And this was my list of duties that I had to do when I interned, when I went over to WFAN radio, where Imus, his studio was, and where he did his show from at the time. And if you want to see this sometime, it just goes to show you that Imus had a bit of an ego. But the thing is, a little bit. He treated me extremely well for no apparent reason. He certainly didn't have to. My internship was with MSNBC. And somebody went on maternity leave, and they said, do you want to go over to WFAN in Imus's studio and intern there 2 days a week? And I said, absolutely, thinking that the whole curmudgeon thing was an act. I might have been wrong.
Yeah.
But he was tremendously nice to me, tremendously nice to his staff. He was a perfectionist, and everybody there. Mike Breen, who does the NBA on ABC now, was there. Charles McCord, who was retired, was the newsreader. Bernie and Lou, who are still with the show, were there. And this Thursday is Imus's last show on the radio. He's retiring. Imus in the Morning goes off the air this Thursday morning. So I just wanted to share a story with you that I thought was kind of fun. And I will, for the sake of broadcast television, I will replace the word that he used with the word forking.
All right.
So I was in the Imus studio at WFAN, and I had a list of duties, which you saw. And one of them I messed up, unbeknownst to me. And when Mr. Imus found out that I messed it up, he got really mad. Like I said, he's a perfectionist. He got really angry with me. And I knew he was really angry with me because he stopped talking to me, period. I would go into the studio with his cup of coffee every 20 minutes, and usually he said, thank you, Dan, and then he made some kind of a crack. This time, he turned his back every time I walked in. And to a 19-year-old from Maine, or 21-year-old from Maine, that felt kind of cool. Not in a good way. Cold. So the MSNBC cameras could see me in the production room, and I received word at one point that I got a phone call. And I thought, who's calling me at the Imus show? So I go out in the hallway, and I take the call, and it's the producer, Terry Irving from MSNBC, and he says, stop looking like you're going to cry. You're bringing our ratings down. So, so apparently I was a little bit nervous. So, the person who I was sort of subbing for, who had taken over for the person that had maternity leave, came in at 8 o'clock. And when she came in, she was told the story of what happened. And then she pulled me aside and she said, this wasn't your fault, this was my fault. And I said, well, I thought so, but I didn't really know. And she said, why did you say it was your fault? I said, because I'm not going to throw somebody under the bus who works here. I'm just an intern. And she said, let me go clear it up. So she goes into the studio during a commercial break, and she talks to Mr. Imus, and Mr. Imus is just nodding his head, shaking his head, nodding his head, shaking his head, and then she leaves. So the intercom system at WFAN, if you were in the studio, you could push a button, and the entire radio station, 3 floors of radio station, could hear what was coming out of the intercom. So at the time, I was a little bit portlier than I am now, and my nickname from Mr. Imus was the Fat Forking Intern. So. So I hear the person walks out of the studio, and she says, you're all set. I said, thank you. And then I didn't really know what to do. And then I heard over the intercom, shh, or will somebody tell that fat forking intern to get me some coffee? And I thought, great, I'm back in his good graces. Yes, I win. So good luck to Imus and the whole gang. You can hear his final.